This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday, and we are here for our Smackdown review, and we are going to get into it, and we're going to get it done right. Thank you for joining us. If you're in the chat, go ahead and drop a like. Make sure you answer the poll. Make sure you subscribe and share it out. If you're in the chat, share this out. We're going to be right back after this. After this somewhere, if I find the right screen. There we go. That's what I got to do. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are here with your Value of Wrestling Smackdown for October 27th review. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one, the only, I'm the big, oh, you know. And, of course, sitting here with me tonight, it's the one, the only, the mastermind, the brains behind it all.
Paulus, Clarke.
Oh, you know. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad that you're here. And hello to everybody who's here in the chat. Make sure you're sharing this out, joining the conversation. We're glad to see Mr. Z is in the house. Mr. Z, thank you for joining us in the chat. So we're glad to see that you are out there tonight. And Callie, we see that you're there too. Thank you. As always. I just totally lost my train of thought. Anyways, oh yeah, I know what I was going to hit on, ladies and gentlemen. We have hit the 100 mark. We'll probably have a bigger celebration on Sunday. Well, I dropped my earpiece. Now I can't hear nothing. Anyway, hold on. Let me get it back in. We've hit 100. What?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Anyways, we've hit 100 subscribers. We want to thank each and every one of you for getting to this milestone of 100. We are going to be shooting for 500, 1,000, and it's continuing to grow. So make sure that you are here supporting us. But we will be doing something special for Sunday, and that also gives us a cause to talk or announce that the Z Shocker shall possibly make an appearance sooner than later. We will see how that plays out. But for now, let's get into Smackdown. Smackdown, live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin tonight. It is October 27th, the 2023 edition. We're leading into Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel is 1 week from tomorrow. And, of course, we will be live right after that show, or somewhat after that show. We haven't all got our plans out. Since it's a 10 o'clock in the morning show, we'll have to see how long it is and what's going on, but we will let you know once we have everything pinned down on when we're going to go live. But that is the plan. So we're building to that. And so the show opens with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman coming out to the ring. There is no Bloodline, no Jimmy, no Solo at this time. Roman's about to lift his belt in the air when LA Knight's music hits, and out comes LA Knight.
With everybody saying, LA Knight.
LA Knight music hits. He walks right past Roman, doesn't even acknowledge Roman. He gets into the ring, and he sits right at the head of the table. They are here for their contract signing. Nick Aldis is in the ring. Roman goes, LA Knight goes ahead and signs the contract. Roman gets in the ring kind of distraught. He sits down, he goes to sign it. The crowd is chanting. Roman is scared. LA Knight basically just runs Roman down in a great promo. Eventually, Roman attacks Knight and trying to put him through a table, but Knight gets back in charge. But here's Jimmy out of nowhere to save Roman. Roman's telling Jimmy to take care of him, but Jimmy winds up going through a table. And the opening segment was really good. I think I thought the promos were good. I thought everything really built this. LA Knight looking like he is on fire, looking good, looking hot. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
The funniest thing to me was when the crowd was chanting that Roman was scared, you could see he tried so hard not to crack a smile. He tried his hardest, but even he was entertained by it.
Yeah.
And then
you
could see he kind of went back into character and just kind of smiled as if he were amused. But you could tell the guy behind him was amused.
Well,
that's kind of like, I think, the greatest thing about the segment.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get back to the right background, too. I don't know what my background is. I guess every time I change it. Anyways, I guess I can start going back to regular backgrounds instead of trying to do this one every week. Anywho, from there, we got announced that John Cena will be taking on Solo Sikoa at Crown Jewel, and we were told that Bianca Belair is back. I think we got a replay from last week again, and yeah. So, we got our opening match, LWO, Santos Escobar and Carlito. Carlito asking Rey Mysterio if he can step in tonight because he wanted revenge. And we got the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. LWO come out, we go to commercial, then when we come back, the arena's dark. Bobby Lashley comes out to the beating drums, not his full music. And then the Street Profits come out. They've got brand new music. It was decent. I mean, the music looked good. It's just like, I think they need a total repackaging because they still look like the Street Profits of old. I'm like, give me something. I think the whole package needs to be revamped, not just the music. Like, if you're going to give me new music, give me new looks. Their look is the same thing as it's been. It didn't really, like, I don't feel like, I feel like they're stuck in this middle ground. Like, they're not baby faces anymore, no, but I don't really feel like they've fully evolved to the heel level that I want to see them at.
I disagree with you there. I feel like they are heels, but they're not as vicious as they need to be to really pull it off.
They're not being built or come off that way.
Right.
I just don't feel it. And then their look, I still feel like it's like the Street Profit outfits. I'm like, if you're supposed to be with Bobby Lashley, if they're supposed to be this new group that's got money or something, I'm like, their outfit should look a little more something. I don't know what. It just didn't cut it for me tonight.
I feel you.
Anyways, we see Ray watching in the back. Eventually, Ray gets taken out in the backstage area by Logan Paul with his one punch. Escobar and Carlito see it on the screen, so Escobar sends Carlito to the back. Like, I don't know why you do that. I don't know why Carlito would leave his opponent. Eventually, the Street Profits hit the Revelation, and they get the win. So the Street Profits get a win. It was a decent match. I don't really necessarily like Logan. I don't mind Logan Paul taking out Rey Mysterio, but I don't get the point of Carlito leaving his tag partner to go check on Ray. I'm like, there's other members of the LWO that should have been there to take care of that. It left Escobar out there to basically. Then you really knew he was going to lose to the Street Profits. I don't feel this did anything for this. It's a win for the Street Profits, but I don't feel like it did anything to add anything for them. Like they're just like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like they're the heels that I think they should be. I don't feel like they're on I don't even feel like they're on the same level as Bobby Lashley.
Fair.
It hasn't blended. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what they are, other than they're the Street Profits with Bobby Lashley, and we're supposed to take them more seriously. Your thoughts, Mr. Clarke?
My first pet peeve, even before the match got started, why is Carlito not coming out in an LWO shirt? Why are they not? Product placement, one, but just as important, making him feel like he's a part of the LWO. I'm like, he's wearing his own shirt, a Carlito shirt. I'm like, why? Now, unless it was like a hybrid brand between LWO and then something special about Carlito, that'd be one thing. But just coming out in the Carlito shirt, I'm like, there's no synergy here.
Well, is that having?
Itself,
I was going to say, is that anything to do with the news or the rumors that Carlito's going to be the one that's going to take the LWO heel? Is he not being a part of them because he has his own agenda? I don't know. That's the rumors out there that Carlito's going to turn and go heel.
Even if that's the story going forward, you would think he would be a part of the brand that he's supposed to embody.
I don't know.
That's why that don't make no sense to me. You had the Four Horsemen, at least in the 90s. They all wore Four Horsemen shirts. It's like, regardless of who, whose spot was what and who was switching where.
Well, the 25,000 members of the NWO all wore black and white shirts until the Wolfpack came around, and then you were either black and white or red and black, and that's what life was about, except for me and you. We were black and green because we were DX and we didn't care. We liked the NWO, no doubt, but we were the Generation X. I mean, that's the ground we stood on. Yes, Miguel, I definitely feel like Montez Ford comes off more heelish or presented as a little more of a heel than Angelo Dawkins. Angelo Dawkins still feels more babyface and laughy, and it scares me because I always feel like they're going to break them up, like they're setting this up, but hopefully not.
Now going into the actual match, the match was all right, but presentation is everything in this industry. Mm-hmm. Between Carlito not wearing the shirt, the Street Profits not looking the way that you would think he would look when they're with Lashley. I mean, my biggest gripe has nothing to do with the in-ring work. My biggest gripe is presentation.
No, the match was what we expected. It was a good match. We got a lot from all of them, but it's just I don't feel like the Street Profits are being presented like, I don't know. They're like, Lashley's giving them suits, but then they're wearing the same ring gear. It's like, why aren't their ring gear feeling more elite, fancy, more, I don't know. There's just something that's...
Exactly.
Something
more upscale.
Yep. Anyways, from there, we get a backstage segment with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's holding a Packers title belt, and Roman looks at him like, "What's that?" And Paul Heyman, it's a Packers title belt. It's the closest the LA Knight and the Green Bay Packers are going to get to a world title. So burn. Anyways, Jimmy comes in and he collapses on the couch. Roman and him have a back and forth. Roman asks him where he was. He says, "I was in the trainer's room." He asked what happened out there. He talked about the play and the running the wrong play. Roman then tells Jimmy to end it tonight. Jimmy says he's on the injured reserve list. And then Roman looks at him and goes, "I'm off the injured reserve list." And so then Roman tells Heyman to book the match. Heyman gets up to leave, then comes back and goes for Jimmy in LA. Like, he didn't know what batch to book. And Roman's like, "Yeah." So, interesting segment.
Smart. He didn't want to get in trouble.
No shit. It was a great segment. They're keeping the bloodline fresh. They're getting everything built up there. Jimmy's still an interesting character in how all this is going to play out for the bloodline. So, backstage, we see Logan Paul. Logan Paul talks about not letting them know what he's going to do, what his next move is going to be. And so then he takes the mic from, what's her name? Is that Kathy Kelly or is that, I forget their names. They go through.
Yeah, Kathy Kelly.
Yeah. Takes the mic from her and gives it back to her. Then she asks another question and he just walks off. And as he's walking off, the best segment of the night came down. So Logan Paul walks into Kevin Owens and they kind of have a confrontation. And then Logan Paul walks off and then Kevin Owens is standing there and here's Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. They approach and they're talking to Kevin Owens about, we have punchable faces. We have punchable faces. And Kevin Owens basically says, "I think I could punch both of you at the same time in the face." And then they get heated, and then the security comes in, and we get Jamie Noble for a moment. Jamie Noble is pushing away Owens, and Owens is like, "Don't you think I could punch both of them at the same time?" And Jamie's like, "Yeah." And so as he's getting escorted and Waller and Theory are standing there talking, Owens comes back in screen and punches them both in the face at the same time, knocks him on the floor and goes, "See? I could do it." And I thought it was a great segment. I thought it was hilarious because it's just Kevin Owens just...
You saw where that gag was going, though. I mean, it was still great anyways.
No, it was.
I'm just like...
It was well produced. It was funny.
You two are going to be the bumbling fools. Okay.
Oh, well, they asked for it. They wanted to mess with Kevin Owens. And I mean,
literally,
Kevin Owens...
they literally asked for it.
And he did it. He's like, "See, I told you I could do it." I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is great. Either as a heel or a babyface or wherever he does. It's just like, it's just so natural for him to be that person. To be like, "I think I can punch both of you in the face. Watch this, bam." You're like, he did it. From there we get now we get to the beautiful Kayla Braxton, and she does an interview with Dragon Lee. And then, holy she-balls, people, we saw a ghost tonight. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we saw an actual ghost on TV as Cedric Alexander appeared. I was shocked. I didn't even know if he was still under contract. So he comes in and decides to challenge Dragon Lee to a match tonight. Tell me when I'm telling lies. When's the last time you saw Cedric Alexander on TV?
It's been a while. He'll do a few things here and there. Seems like every third month or so, or the way it feels.
Yeah. So, anywho, Cedric Alexander is going to challenge Dragon Lee to a match tonight. So we got that set up. Is there anything you want to add to that before I move on? No? All right. So fresh
they
offer.
did have a nice video package. They did have a nice video package for Cedric Alexander.
That comes a little later.
I think with that.
That was later down the card. That's why I hadn't brought it up just yet. Because I was like, oh, maybe they're going to do something because they did a video package, I think, before the match.
Yeah, that might have been it.
So then we go to, we get coming off her NXT Halloween Havoc hosting duties. We got Shotzi coming down to the ring. Then we went to a commercial break, and then we came back. We had a backstage segment with Nick Aldis and Shotzi having a conversation. And then Chelsea Green, dressed as the She-Devil, walks in, and Piper Niven, I guess, pulling off her Best Boy George impression, come walking in. And then Chelsea Green calls Shotzi Pinhead and says that is so 1986. And I was like, really? Really? I mean, Piper Niven's totally trying to pull off like this Boy George look, and you're going to talk about Pinhead in 1986.
I read somewhere someone was trying to say it was a Stevie Nicks look.
It may have been a Stevie Nicks. I mean, that's Fleetwood Mac.
That one.
Let's see, Fleetwood Mac with that. I don't know where would. I don't know where Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks would have been in '86 or that time era. Were they together? Or was she on her own by then?
He's been back and forth between Solo and Fleetwood Mac. So
I don't know. Boy George came to my mind first of all, just because of the hat and the slight look. But hey, whatever you want to say. Anyways, the 1986 comment, and then Shotzi asked Nick Aldis for a favor, and so we got a match between Shotzi and Chelsea Green. So Shotzi and Chelsea Green have their match. Chelsea does a drop kick from the top rope. Shotzi's on the ground, and she goes to kind of lazily lay over Shotzi, and Shotzi just schoolboys her into a 1-2-3. Shotzi gets the win here. This is kind of a match, not of anything important, but Shotzi gets a big moment here. Anything you want to add, Mr. Clarke?
You know, Piper Niven probably has one question for you. Do you really want to hurt me?
No, I will pass her along to somebody else that will enjoy her company.
Do you really want to? You do that.
Chameleon. No. Anyways, so then we get a commercial for Bash in Berlin. A lot of talking up of the Bash in Berlin. So we talk about Elimination Chamber, not Perth, Australia. We talk about Bash in Berlin, Germany coming next year. So we're going to get heavy promotion. And supposedly Backlash, what I'm getting is going to be announced that it's going to be in Paris, France. So WWE making a lot of movement overseas next year. So that'll be
long enough.
Interesting. We get announced that LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso is the main event for the night when we get that official. And then here is the You Can't See Me man, John Cena. John Cena is coming down the ring being introduced by Samantha there as the greatest of all time. So, I mean, you can debate that one
during this run.
You can debate that whichever way. I say, nah, I don't know if the greatest of all time. I mean, he's great for his time and his era. But being the greatest of all time is kind of debatable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think how many title reigns you have makes you the greatest of all time. Anyways, we get Cena does the cheap pop about talking about being in Milwaukee. He talks about Crown Jewel. And Cena is basically worried about losing the fans and their support and their respect because this is a must win. He has to win. There's no other way but to win. And then we get Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out. Of course, he announced, I respect you. He gets a handshake from Cena. And then Paul Heyman announces very specifically that they're sold out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I wonder why they're doing that. Anyways, he thanks Cena for the house, since he's saying basically, if you don't get that reference, that's basically Cena was the one that sold the house out, so he's thanking Cena for the house. So we get that back and forth. Paul Heyman says John could have been... And they have this back and forth where John Cena, Paul Heyman talks up John Cena about how he's great at talking to Mike, and that John Cena could have been Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman was been doing this for so long, but he pissed off the bloodline, and now he's risking his voice, his most dangerous weapon, John Cena's ability to talk people into the building, his ability to shoot a promo, which John Cena is really good at. Eventually, Solo Sikoa comes out, takes John Cena from behind, hits a spinning solo, and then we get this spike to the throat. Down goes Cena. And so we got a very good segment. John Cena did his part very well. He's making it look like he has to absolutely win this match. Paul Heyman did his part very well. And Solo Sikoa came out to finish it up to make you wonder. We don't know where this match is going to go, which is what we want going into Crown Jewel when we see John Cena take on Solo Sikoa. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts, sir?
I'm trying to figure out if they're trying to give Cena another win just because he's on this, losing streak, or if they're looking to put Sikoa over. Like, they have the basis for either one, and I'm like, I can't really figure out what I believe their intended game is.
Well, but I think that's what we want. We want to be in that position that we don't know. Therefore, we watch the match because we're actually more interested in seeing how it's going to play out. I think Solo's going to come out on the win, and this is how we're going to get Cena to bow out and go away because I think his time's almost up. I don't know where the Actor Guild strike is completely, but I don't think Cena's going to be around much longer, unfortunately. There is benefit from having Cena around, but I think we're going to see Cena go. But Solo Sikoa taking him out could be a great gimmick that they could bring it back around to Solo and Cena at WrestleMania, maybe where Cena gets his comeuppance against Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania, which could be part of the greater story of the whole bloodline falling apart. Cena beats Solo, Jay beats Jimmy, Roman loses to Cody, the whole fall of that empire you could have right there. And it'll be a wait and see, though. Anyways, we get LA Knight backstage. He cuts a promo and eventually he talks about grabbing Jimmy's pigtails and riding him all over. And yeah, I was just like,
oh, I was so shaking my head during that one.
yeah. It's just like, okay.
Some of us are going to take that the wrong way, despite.
Oh, yeah.
It should have been more innocent. Jeez.
Then we get the Dragon Lee versus Cedric Alexander match. Dragon Lee is out, and then we get a retrospect on Cedric Alexander that talks all about his career. I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to let Cedric beat Dragon Lee. I'm like, they're doing something. They're doing like they did for Ivar. They're making him look interesting and important, and so putting some relativity behind him. But in the end, Dragon Lee wins. He comes behind, sets up for a cutter, but flips reverse. I forget. He reverses it into like a DDT guy. It's like he grabs him here and then flips backwards. They didn't give me a name, so I didn't know what they called that because they didn't say. They're just like, oh, he won. So Dragon Lee getting a win over Cedric Alexander. It is what it is. Dragon Lee's,
Shut up, Miguel.
Miguel, we're not going to say that. And if you say it, if you type it, yeah. Miguel, you need to be real careful because I hear you have a stalker. And so I'd be very careful because you have somebody, like the old song says, always feels like somebody's watching me. Anyways, was there anything you wanted to add to the Dragon Lee Cedric Alexander match?
It was a good match, but you also had kind of the predictable ending because
Yeah.
Dragon Lee right now is the one that they're really trying to build, which I'm fine with.
But hopefully they're going to do something.
No matter when Cedric Alexander has a match, you're going to get a good match out of him.
Oh, yeah. It was a
So
good
that
match.
I'm very proud of.
Hopefully they'll do something with Cedric since they did this whole retrospect. Maybe, from
Mhm.
here, maybe this is a way to reintroduce him and maybe we'll start seeing him more on TV. Anyways, another bad part. I mean, this to me was not like, I'm like, I could have done without this whole segment. Anyways, we got a flashback of last week's women's title match. We saw the return of Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair is out here in the ring. And then we get a flashback to 2 months ago when Damage Control took out Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair came out. She talked. It was just kind of blah. Like, I was like not interested in anything she said. Didn't care. She's pale and boring. I feel like she's going to be the female John Cena. We're never going to see her go heel. She's just going to be this baby face, and I'm kind of over it. And so next week she's getting a match against Bayley. And then it was announced at some point that she is going to get a match for the WWE Women's title at Crown Jewel against Io Sky.
Yeah, so Bayley a week from tonight, then Crown Jewel,
Yep.
WWE Women's Championship.
Yep. So that's booked. And I don't care. I'm over Bianca Belair. She hasn't done anything. This was an ample opportunity to take her off TV, repackage her, have her come back as a heel. But you brought her back as a cheesy babyface. I feel like she's going to be the female John Cena, and I'm just kind of like, her promo didn't do anything for me. Same old, stick with her.
I can see that argument. I can definitely see that argument. Just like many fans want Tina to go heel for the longest time, I would prefer Bianca as heel also. She does not make sense to me as a face. Just doesn't. Like,
not anymore.
On the East.
Yeah.
He never made sense to me as a face, period, but that's just me personally.
Yeah. Well, this promo didn't do anything. It's just I'm returning to face these people, and I'm just kind of like, now she's the one that's getting a title shot. I would almost say Tony Khan booked this match.
Damn. Well, it is a week before, and
yeah. I'm just saying, it's kind of Tony Khan booking ideology. Yeah. I would think, I would have loved to see her go join her husband, Montez Ford, the Bobby Lashley, the stable as a female presence. I'm afraid that might wind up going to Jade Cargill if they decide to move her into a stable and give her rub off of these people and do something. Be great, but and this may be the reason we're not going to get Bianca Belair heel, because I believe Jade Cargill is probably going to come in as a heel. I don't know. And a lot of things they've done already have presented that she could be more borderline heel, but there's nothing quite factual yet.
What they could do, as they're still building Jade Cargill, is have Bianca also come into that stable, and that's where your building of a new tag team could come from. Bianca and Jade.
Yeah, well, I don't think they'd put both women in the same stable. I just don't see WWE. They want to play to a certain demographics, and they got to have one good, one bad type of thing. Not saying it's right. I'm just saying I think people think that way in some of this aspects. That's not me saying that it's the way. It's just how I see the perception of how things are done sometimes.
Right.
I don't care for Bianca Belair. I'm like, why didn't they do something special? Change or anything? It's just the same crap, the same blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, you know what? You're getting up there with some other people. I want to be like, get off my TV. And it's not, again, this is not always about the talent themselves, but the way they're booked, the way they're presented, the way they're, put off, they may have all the talent in the world, and she's a great in-ring worker, but her promo skills to me are mid. Like, she can do a good promo sometimes, but the babyface promo, which is not really on her, to me at this point, it's just, I'm done and over the babyface Bianca Belair.
Well, can also consider they do have writers. I'm wondering how much of it is her input and how much of it is she's, taking instruction.
With her, I wouldn't know. I know a lot of other people. I think LA Knight's promo was his own tonight. I know with Triple H, he's letting people do more bullet points of what, hey, we want you to hit on these points and then shoot it. Because you can tell very much now in WWE when somebody's shooting their own promo or trying to hit bullet points, especially when they start stumbling or something, throws them off. Like LA Knight's promo, there was a brief second there where you could see he kind of stumbled but then caught himself and got back on track when he did his backstage. So it's there. So it's like hers definitely feels like it was all written. Now, does that mean she's capable of doing a promo on herself? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen her do a promo that was really more her than the character that she is being given. The character she is right now, I blame creative. It's just stale. It's stagnant. It's just like, I have no interest. Like, you can put her in the ring and you do this, you're going to make her face Bayley next week and then just instantly give her a title shot against Io Sky. I guess she hasn't. Well, she did get a rematch, didn't she? Or did she not get a rematch? Because she won the title briefly and then lost it. She beat who had the title when she won it. She dropped it and then won it. And then Io Sky came out. Asuka. That's right. Asuka won it from her, and then Bianca Belair won it from Asuka at Money in the Bank or whatever it was right there. And then Io Sky came in and cashed it in after Bianca Belair had just won the title. But I thought she had a rematch before she got injured. I don't know. That would have been 2 months ago, so maybe not. Maybe she never got a rematch. So I guess she has a right to a match. I'm just saying,
I'm just saying it's poor marketing. Doing it a week before, whether the character deserves it or not. It's the marketing that I'm criticizing more than anything else.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to marketing. We'll time out from SmackDown for a moment. Do you think it was bad marketing that Tony Khan gave a surprise to Sting, but didn't tell anybody to like market it? Ric Flair would have been on that TV show.
That
You think?
depends more on if the point was to get a higher rating for this, this past show that where he, appeared
Yeah.
on, or moving forward.
Yeah. But we don't actually know if Sting's going to be on the next show. We assume, or not Sting, Ric Flair's going to be on the next show. I guess he is because he's going to be in the corner for that match if they're doing. I don't know. Hard to keep up with some of this stuff. Anyway, so let's get back to SmackDown. SmackDown ended with Jimmy Uso taking on LA Knight. A pretty decent long match. Eventually, we got the superplex off the top rope into a BFT. LA Knight is your winner. Yeah. He beats Jimmy Uso. LA Knight celebrating. Roman Reigns runs out to attack Knight from behind. Knight dodges a spear and then hits a BFT on Roman. The show ends with Knight standing tall over a down Roman Reigns. Decent match between the two. LA Knight, Jimmy Uso gave a great match. I think it was really good. Ending, they're definitely making Knight look strong. Unfortunately, he's not winning. I mean, I don't care how many of you people out here want to write on Facebook, oh, Roman's not going to be around because he's losing the title to LA Knight on Crown Jewel. I don't know why so many people think LA Knight's going to be the one to take the belt off of Roman. It's been a pretty quick build. Yes, LA Knight's being built. I'm sure it's going to... LA Knight he may win the match in some form or another, but it's going to be by nefarious means. It's not going to be straight up. He's not winning the title. I know that's probably going to make a lot of people cry, and you can drop your comments down below. Again, this is a place where your opinion, you can have it, you can believe what you want, we can agree to disagree, and that's fine. We just ask you to be polite and respectful, because there's no reason to be rude, but I'm telling you, it's not happening. And I know my man right here totally agrees with that statement. Mr. Clarke, the floor is yours.
We've been, for this whole year, we've been told what the story is. Mm-hmm. And as it's been unfolding, so why would you think, now, if LA Knight is over, and LA Knight is a rising star, but he's not a bigger star than the person they're actually heading towards WrestleMania with.
Whoa!
How that one word gets over is so funny to me.
I love
that gets over.
I love the fact that people actually made reference that "whoa" has been in every one of his theme songs in WWE.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I was like, until I watched those videos, I had never paid attention, but that "whoa" has been in every one of his things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Miguel.
I absolutely agree with you. What's Miguel going on about?
Miguel said they are doing what is good for Knight, but he can lose and still look solid. Yes, they can make it where Knight's going to look good in a loss. They could let him win in the nefarious means and continue a storyline later. What I would do, honestly, is I would have LA Knight get a win by DQ or disqualification, and this one time, the Judgment Day, or not the Judgment Day, the Bloodline are not able to pull off the win, because A, that sets up the collapse of the Roman Empire, the Bloodline, because the whole story has to be that Roman doesn't have anybody to help him when he finally takes on Cody. So if you have something happen and slip up here, that could begin to crack the foundation. LA Knight gets a win over Roman by DQ or whatever. It's still a win over Roman. Then you could have Roman go in to face Cody at WrestleMania. Well, now you still have Knight who's like, I beat Roman. I should be champion. Blah, 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 blah. He could go up against Cody. We could get a heel LA Knight against a babyface champion Cody Rhodes, which would be amazing. And I'm sorry, LA Knight's a better heel. He's fun and entertaining as a baby Knight, but he's a freaking better heel.
Absolutely.
Floor's yours, sir.
And if you don't know if LA Knight's a better heel or not, take a little turn back to TNA Wrestling, where he had been a champion before. That was more promo. He didn't get to do as much there because he was called went up to NXT. Was anyways.
But no, Eli Drake.
Yeah. Okay.
Eli Drake, what is LA Knight was known before this, was an amazing talent in Impact Wrestling. I mean, yeah, you love to hate the guy. He's just a better heel.
I mean, I didn't even think he was main event worthy until he finally won the damn title in TNA. And then once he did, it's like, oh, like a click. Oh, I get it now. I mean, I always thought he was talented because that was just obvious.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, you got to watch the booking. If the company doesn't get behind you, sometimes it's hard for us as the audience to get behind him. But as lo and behold, he got over with both the fans and the company, and now he's doing that reclimb onto the bigger mountain of WWE. He's been rising up, and he's getting those shots now.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what the company does with them.
Miguel, I don't know what you mean by dollar signs. I mean, there's dollar signs all across the board, yes, but you've got to give me more details to talk about than just a bunch of dollar signs.
Unless I'm assuming he's saying LA Knight is money, but
well, Knight is money. There's a lot of people on that card who could be money. There's a lot of people on all across the board on both programs and some other programs that could definitely be money if they're used correctly. So, SmackDown. It looks like our poll is at 50% good. I would say that's pretty much SmackDown was a good show. I don't think it reached a level of awesome. So that's where I stand on that. But again, I would go with the good. That's where our poll ends. Was it average? Yeah, I mean you can look at it. It's good. The average. It was good. Was it average? It's what you expect. It's not the go home show. Hopefully they get a little better for all the go home shows going into Crown Jewel next Saturday. And of course, that'll be at a special airing time, and it's going to be on at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mr. Clarke there gets to sleep in a little bit later since you're Mountain Time. I guess you won't have to be up at,
just an hour difference.
Yeah, but you still get that extra hour. Anyways, and then of course that Saturday or that Sunday, that night is going to be the daylight savings time change. So that's always fun.
Oh Lord.
Yep, that's coming. Okay.
Lose your hearing aids.
Always. So Crown Jewel, it looks we've got some great matches. We're gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out. A lot of stories to be told there. I'm still looking for somebody to define. I saw a post that somebody said it was confirmed. I have not heard any breaking news. I haven't heard anything from WWE, but somebody's trying to confirm. And if you see this out there, I hope you understand that you can't believe everything you see on the internet. Brock Lesnar is supposed to return to Crown Jewel to take on Gunther for the Intercontinental title. And I'm like, I think they'd be telling us about that. I think they'd be telling us this.
Yeah.
You're saying a heel LA Knight is money. Yeah. Oh no, he's definitely. I love to see what LA Knight could get a DQ or a count out win over Roman Reigns, which would give him a claim to a title match in the future to say, hey, I didn't get beat by this champion. Then you put you let him build, and then you have Cody win the title, and then LA Knight could sit here going, I have a right to that title, and then him going up against babyface Cody, getting him heel where he could do some great mic work. He does great mic work as a babyface, but you just know that man's brewing to come out to be a heel, to say things that would just, it's there.
Tell me, yeah.
Tell me, yeah.
So there's that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that pretty much sums up everything for this episode of SmackDown. This is the Value of Wrestling. This is our SmackDown review. We are reviewing every show. We will be back tomorrow night after Collision to review Collision. If anything happened on Rampage, we will bring it up then, but I don't know if anything actually happened. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it, because we're here to give you this wonderful, beautiful program to show our beautiful faces, because we know you love you, or you love us. There we go. So, with that being said, if you're in the chat, thank you for being here. Make sure you hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Make sure you're sharing this out to everybody. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because every subscription is another step closer to our next goal. We have 100 subscribers, which is totally awesome, totally amazing. We thank every one of our subscribers. Appreciate you all for being a part of the Value Wrestling family, and we're going to continue to grow, and we need your help, support to get this out there. Hit that, the thumbs up, gets us up on the algorithm, and helps us continue to grow. So tomorrow night, we will be back with a Collision review. We will go over everything that happened on Collision. If anything happened on Rampage, we will break down any high notes on Collision. It'll be interesting to see. And then we will be live Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, with the weekly roundup. Miguel C will be there to join us, and we're going to break down everything that went on this week in wrestling. We will each kind of touch on the shows, and then we'll bring up any information or any events that have any stories, news, rumors, speculation, anything of interest. We will break that all down for you. Mr. Clarke, is there anything you want to sum up? Anything else you want to say before we start heading out and wrapping up this show?
That's actually pretty much where we are. It's overall that SmackDown was cool. It was a show that continued to build towards, Crown Jewel. Sorry, brain fart here.
It happens. It happens a lot more. You kind of got to go, and all of a sudden, huh? Yeah.
That's all, folks.
Sometimes you just got to roll with it.
That's how I feel about tonight.
Yeah. No, there wasn't a whole lot of greatness on this. The John Cena promo was probably really good. The Bianca Belair, I don't even know if it needed to be on the show. I think you could have booked those matches without it. It was nice to see Shotzi get a match here, especially one-on-one with Chelsea Green, so that was nice. We didn't get any of the back and forth Monday night SmackDown war. We didn't see Adam Pearce on SmackDown this week, so that was good. So we got stuff going on. We'll go into Crown Jewel next week. Then we're going to turn around and go right into Survivor Series for WWE. Of course, before that, we have Full Gear. A lot of talk about what's going on with that. So we can talk more about that on Sunday. So go ahead and hit that bell for notifications. So when we go live on Sunday, you'll know. When we go live tomorrow night, you'll know. You'll be notified, and you can come join us. And as always, you're welcome to join us in the chat. Join in the conversation. You say something we think needs to be said, we'll bring it up on air. And as of all of that, I guess this is the time, the place, and the moment to tell you all that until the next episode, you know it. Now we're going to get out of here, go back over here. We thank you for joining us.